Good day and welcome to the Flash News US post-elections. Well, over the weekend, Ambazonia had a remarkable conclave. Yes, over the weekend, Amazonia had a remarkable gathering at Washington, D.C., where we saw people coming in from France, South America, and even Asia just to attend this meeting, as the president of the Federal Republic of Amazonia, Samuel Ikome Sako, insisted it has to be a live meeting and not a virtual one. Well, the Amazonian government is capitalizing on the shift in power and in Washington, taking proactive steps to align its goals with the incoming United States administration. And over the weekend, a series of high level meetings took place in Washington, D.C., highlighting the government's commitment to strengthening its strategic position. The conference kicked off with the Ambazonian National Security Council, ANSC, meeting on Saturday, followed by sessions involving county chairs and departmental representatives on Sunday. Simultaneously, a defense conclave was held across both days, bringing together key stakeholders to discuss crucial matters. While many details of these meetings remain classified, they were centered on transitioning seamlessly between the United States administrations and exploring avenues to foster collaboration with the new leadership in Washington. The successful conclave underscores Ambazonia's readiness to engage with global powers to advance the Amazonian cause during this pivotal moment. And over to the United States election, the 2024 United States presidential election has come to an end, leaving the world abuzz with discussions and reactions. President-elect Donald Trump's victory makes the start of a new era in American politics, sparking debates about his future policies, cabinet appointments, and the potential global impact. Today, we'll bring you an in-depth look into the post-election landscape segmented into key areas of focus. As preparation for his second term ramp up, President-elect Donald Trump has announced several high-profile appointees to his cabinet and administration, and these elections reveal a clear strategy for tackling major domestic and international challenges. Well, let's dive into the names of that are making the headlines. We have the first and the least, Tom Homan, which we already brought to you on the Flash News, the former acting ICE director who has been appointed as the border czar, tasked with addressing the immigration crisis. We have on the list as well Lee Zeldin, former New York congressman who served as the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA administrator, and focusing on environmental policy reforms. We also have Tulsi Gabbard, former Congresswoman and 2020 Democratic presidential candidate, who will lead as Director of National Intelligence, overseeing U.S. intelligence operations. We also have Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who was appointed as Secretary of Health and Human Services, the HHS, bringing his health policies to the forefront. We have Caroline Leavitt chosen as press secretary. She will be the face of Trump's communication strategy. Additional appointees to follow as announcement continues. Well, on the United States international relations, as Trump approaches inauguration, President-elect Trump's return to power is already reshaping the global political landscape. Allies and adversaries alike are recalibrating their positions as the world anticipates change in the United States foreign policy. Outgoing President Joe Biden has shifted policy by allowing Kyiv to deploy the US rockets deep into Russia, a move that critics have warned could escalate tensions. Let's see what
Росія
Zelensky
вже
has to say
майже
about
1000 днів робить одне те й саме. І від цього треба захищатись, треба бути сильними. Час інвестувати треба не у те, щоб поговорити з кимось в Москві, а щоб дійсно змусити Росію до закінчення війни. План посилення України – це план перемоги, який я представив партнерам. Одним з головних пунктів є далекобійність для нашої армії. Сьогодні багато в медіа говорять про те, що ми отримали дозвіл на відповідні дії. Але удари завдають не словами. Такі речі не анонсують.
Well, that access granted to Ukraine, there is the response from Ukraine's president to that. Well, Ukrainian president also said something as Volodymyr Zelensky expressed optimism, stating that the war with Russia may end sooner, in his words, under Trump's leadership. But questions remain about Trump's stance on Ukraine and whether his administration will reduce or maintain military support. Countries such as India view Trump's return very favorably, with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi seeing an opportunity to bolster nationalist policies. Conversely, Trump's presidency raises concerns for NATO allies and other nations wary of his America First agenda. Now, away from the political international relations as affects the United States, we're taking a look at the aftermath and the public reaction still after the United States presidential election, and then the escape offers as well as the 4B movement. As a nation prepares for Trump's second term, reacting among the electorate are sharply divided. Your reactions are sharply divided. While some celebrate, others, particularly Democrats, have voiced discontent, frustration, and even despair, vowing to leave the United States. Villa V Residencies has unveiled a luxury escape plan for disgruntled voters, a 4-year global cruise covering 425 ports across 140 countries, starting at $160,000 per person. It's marketed as the ultimate retreat from the United States politics. And away from this offer, we also have those who are not willing to stay away from the United States during Trump's 4 year as president. We have the women, the feminist movement from South Korea, the 4B movement, advocating the rejection of marriage, childbirth, dating, and sex, gaining traction among young American women who were disillusioned by Trump's victory. Now, reactions have been polarizing, with social media users debating the relevance and implications for women's rights in the United States now that Trump is president. Let's take a look at what these women think about Trump's election and the 4B movement.
In the wake of Donald Trump's historic win, there's a new movement sweeping America. Disappointed women are actually swearing off men.
There's no way I am letting any man near me for the next few years.
They're saying no to dating, no to marriage, no to sex.
Celibacy, at least to me, isn't that hard.
And no to having children.
Like so many other women in America who have been considering trying to get pregnant, I woke up today and said, nope, not anymore.
This woman is actually shaving her head in protest. It's being called the 4B movement, and women are taking to social media declaring their allegiance.
Well, we certainly understand the fears of these women, and it's only normal for every woman to fear if they believe that their rights would be snatched away from them by a dictatorial government. But then let's take a listen at what one TikToker had to say about this here, if indeed it is valid and if women's rights under Trump would be annulled.
I am so confused right now. The amount of girls that are coming up on my For You page talking about, oh my gosh, we don't have any rights anymore. My grandma has more rights than I do. What the heck are you talking about? What? I can buy a car. I can buy a home. I can go to school. I can get a job. I can do everything a man can do. I can vote. I can vote. I have the freedom to go onto this wonderful app and speak whatever I feel like. What rights am I losing? And if the only rights we're talking about are allowing men to come into the bathroom with me and play in women's sports and the right to kill an unborn child, I'm sorry, you're crazy and kind of demonic.
Now, we'll ask if you agree with her thoughts or not. But then we also have TV hosts and commentators who have also weighed in on the 4B movement, sparking further discussions about its political impact, the political impact of the 4B movement. Well, let's just take a listen to this one reaction to the 4B movement from a TV host that we found interesting. Take a listen.
My girlies are participating in the 4B movement.
4B movement.
The 4B movement.
The 4B movement. So what is it? The 4Bs, Korean for four no's, no marrying men, no giving birth, no dating men, and no sex with men.
Where do I sign? Where's the pen and paper? They think they're punishing conservatives. In reality, we're the ones that have been suggesting this and saying that if you don't want an unwanted pregnancy, simply don't have sex with men you're unwilling to have a child with. Men this will impact are the low-T, beta soy boy liberal men who only want to use women for consequence-free sex. So I think these women are doing a great job. I salute them. I want them to stand up for themselves. They have my complete endorsement.
Well, that video is courtesy of PragerU. Well, the 2024 U.S. presidential elections has ushered in a new chapter, rife with anticipation and uncertainty, and has obviously seen fear for women especially, from cabinet appointments to international relations and public reactions. The nation braces for the policies and changes of President-elect Donald Trump's second term. Or to leave you on a positive note, here is a rousing speech by actor and filmmaker Sylvester Stallone, popularly known as Rambo, who was introducing President-elect Trump at the America First Policy Institute, the AFPI Gala. Take a listen. Thank you for tuning in to ABC Amba TV and have a great day.
I'm very, very proud to be here. I didn't expect this, but I'll just keep it short and sweet because there's no such a thing as a speech too short. When I did Rocky, if you remember, the first image was a picture of Jesus. It says Resurrection AC Club. I found a church that had been converted to a boxing ring. So the image pans down from Jesus onto Rocky being hit. And at that moment, he was a chosen person. And that's how I began the journey. Something was going to happen. This man was going to go through a metamorphosis and change lives, just like President Trump. We are in the presence of a really mythical character. I love mythology. And this individual does not exist on this planet. Nobody in the world could have pulled off what he pulled off. So I'm in awe. And I'll just say this, and I mean it. When George Washington defended his country, he had no idea that he was going to change the world. Because without him, you can imagine what the world would look like. Guess what? We got the second George Washington. Congratulations.